All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. We can see you, Mubarak and Uche.
Good afternoon,
So,
Rachel.
okay, yeah. If we can just, we will be starting in the next few minutes while we're trying to wait for others to join. Meanwhile, the link has been shared online, so we'll have enough YouTube, where people watching from YouTube. So we can kick off in the next 1 minute or two. All right, good afternoon, everyone.
and welcome to week 1 of MarkHack 5.0, the conversation series. Don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. As we continue this year's conference journey under the theme, the culture algorithm, AI, and human experience, we begin with a conversation that sits at the intersection of technology, media, creativity, and human behavior. Our session today is algorithm versus intent. Who really controls culture in the attention economy? You see, in today's digital world, algorithms increasingly shape what we see, what we engage with, what trends, and even how culture is formed and consumed. From social media feeds and streaming platforms to digital advertising and creator economies, technology now plays a major role in influencing attention, behavior, and decision-making at scale. But amid this rise of algorithm-driven experiences, an important question remains: are humans still intentionally shaping culture, or are algorithms now dictating what captures our attention and defines relevance? So today's conversation will explore how brands, creators, platforms, and consumers are navigating this evolving relationship between human intent and machine intelligence. So we will examine the opportunities, the risk, and the growing responsibilities of ensuring that technology enhances human experiences rather than replacing authenticity and meaningful connection. So joining us today are an incredible lineup of industry leaders, innovators, and creative thinkers who will unpack how AI platforms, data, and digital behaviors are redefining culture in the modern attention economy. So on the first of on my list, I have Mubarak Oduntan. So Mubarak Odunta is a product manager working at the intersection of AI, commerce, and infrastructure, and human behavior in emerging markets. With over 5 years of experience building and scaling digital platforms across fintech, retail, and logistics, he had led systems responsible for over 100 billion in monthly GMV and driven significant growth across digital commerce ecosystems. Currently at Omni Retail Africa, he leads the development of AI-powered platforms that support thousands of businesses here and field agents across multiple African markets, designing systems that influence pricing, distributions, sales, and decision-making at a scale. Previously, Mubarak led products growth initiative as Rosebank Financial Services, where he improved user adoption and customer satisfaction within the country's wealth management portfolio. His earlier work in logistics technology also helped transform a pre-revenue SaaS platform into a revenue-generating business. Passionate about the evolving relationship between technology and culture, Mubarak explores how algorithms, platforms, and human intent interact within today's attention economy. Outside work, he is a fitness enthusiast, athlete, and member of CrossFit Lagos. So Mubarak, you're welcome. Glad to have you on
Thanks,
board.
President. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me and giving me the opportunity to share my views concerning this very, very interesting topic.
You're welcome. All right. Next on my list, we have Ubon Kingsley Ime. Ubon Kingsley Ime is a Lagos-based product designer, product strategist, and co-founder of Utech Soul, yeah, where he leads the design of user-centered digital products across fintechs and emerging technology sectors. Over 5 years of experience, he specializes in building scalable and intuitive digital experiences that align user needs with business goals. His work explores how design systems, AI, and product decisions shape user behavior, digital culture, and human interaction in today's technology-driven world. Kingsley has contributed to products and digital solutions, serving across South Africa, the United States, and Canada, with expertise spanning products design systems, user reach, interaction design, and brand identity. Beyond his professional work, he is passionate about mentoring aspiring designers and helping develop the next generation of tech talents through practicing UI, UX, and product design coaching. He is also a polished contributor to this day, where he shares insights on design, innovation, and the evolving relationships between fintech and user experience. So, Ubon Kingsley, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm really glad to be here today.
All right, glad to have you on board. So our next speaker, Uche Eze. Uche Eze is a solution-oriented product architect and a goal-driven entrepreneur and technology enthusiast, passionate about fostering job creations in Africa through creativity and innovation. An alumnus of Henley Business School, UK, Uche is committed to leveraging technology and entrepreneurial ventures to address critical challenges on the continent, particularly youth development. As a serial entrepreneur, Uche's first startup, FarmMax, that is in Ghana, FarmMax Ghana, gained significant recognition, winning the prestigious Tony Elumelu Foundation grant in 2017, and in the Teach AgriHack competition in 2018. His entrepreneurial journey continues with the co-founding of Eki Technologies, a company dedicated to harnessing the power of creativity and lines of code to solve the pressing issues of youth unemployment in Africa. Under his leadership, Eki Technologies emerged as one of the startups selected for the Innovation Challenge, sponsored by the Edo State government, CC Hub, and the Gates Foundation. Okay, driven by his vision of an Africa where the creative industry generates millions of jobs, Uche is steadfast in his belief and through innovation, entrepreneurship, and creativity, Uche can unlock its potential and create sustainable economic opportunities for the youth. So thank you all for joining us as we look forward to a highly insightful and engaging conversation. You're welcome, Uche.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Okay. Once again, thank you all for joining us. So on this first set, to start with, I will invite our first speaker, Mubarak. Mubarak. So Mubarak, from a product and AI system perspective, how do algorithms decide what gets attention? And to what extent are these decisions driven by user intent versus platform objectives? Good to have you.
Thank you, Principal, for that very, very interesting question. Let me approach it from this way. Most times, organizations and platform owners do present their algorithm as a neutral system that is responding to what user wants. But from experience building algorithm and system, and as a product manager, I've been able to know that these platforms are designed with business objective embedded in them. While these algorithms actually are judged by user intent, there's also the part where business objectives are embedded in them. And majorly, three things are what drive what algorithm support. First is the user signals. From clicked to watch time, to dwell time, to transactional behavior, that's for financial platforms, and even the retention patterns. The second is AI system also have a predictive logic within it, where they are predicting based off your user signal, what is likely to keep you engaged. And the last part is the platform objective itself. And platform objective, what this means is if you have the same system that is built for two different platforms based off the business objective of this platform, whether it's growth, whether it's revenue, whether it's conversion or operational efficiency, this also drives what gets visibility. And so most times, businesses tell you algorithms are designed to listen to users. But reality is, as the algorithm is also listening to users and the intent, is also optimizing for the objective of the company itself. So I've noticed this. I'll give an example of two scenarios itself. First, well, I will actually be building a system to actually scale customer usage on social media itself. If this platform are optimizing for watch time and outreach, what happens is kind of content that would actually meet this business objective are what people notice and are actually designed for. Take for example, I built a system where we get automatic notification for visibility, and what we discover is that the people that use the system automatically adjust to the pattern the system controls. So to answer this question more directly, I would say user intent really matters a lot, but platform objective determine which intent gets amplified at scale. The algorithm is negotiation layer between the human desire and the intent and the business incentive. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mubarak. That was an insightful answer. Okay, moving over to you, Ubong. From a product design perspective, how do you interface and user experience decisions? Okay, sorry, let me come again. How do interface and user experience decisions influence what users pay attention to? And ultimately, what becomes culture? Ubong.
Yes. All right. So, like I
I don't know if
said,
you heard me right.
can you hear me? Yeah, I got your question. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can.
All right.
Go
So,
ahead.
thank you for having me. For me, I think one of the most interesting things happening today is that technology is no longer just responding to culture, right? So it is actively shaping it, shaping how we behave and how we do things and how we respond to digital products. So, like for example, years ago we actually search internet with intention. Today, algorithm have often like decide what reaches us, before we even ask. And as a product designer, that shift has actually raised, right, an important question, which you just asked now. And I'm going to respond to it as an experienced product designer. So from a product designer perspective, right, interface decisions are never neutral. So every product is designed to guide attention in some ways. So for example, we have the placeholder, like the button, and we have the speed notification, and we have the infinite scrolling and the autoplay. So I would try to explain the part of the button. Now, as a designer, what we actually kept on digital products on purpose, and when you come as a user, the first thing that comes to your mind, your cognitive mind, is once you see a button, you know that okay, this is supposed to be a clickable something, and it moves you to point A to B, right? So those are intentional designs. Now those designs are meant to guide the users, right, from point A to B. So there should be a user expectation, what they actually want to see. And also the product should be able to guide them to achieve their goal, right? So those are the things we actually get to see from a digital product oftentimes. For example, we have notification. So once your notification pops up, right? So the next thing that comes to your mind is that you have a message, right? So it actually shapes the way you behave. And once you pick up your WhatsApp, you get a notification. The first thing you see on your notification is, oh, hello, maybe your friend messaged you. Now, immediately, what goes into your mind is for you to open your WhatsApp. So it just happened. It didn't just happen like that, right? It is based on what you've actually been using over time, the product you've actually been using over time, and how product actually looks similar, right, in terms of futures. So once I see that from a user perspective, I already know that, okay, this is what I need to click, then I need to check that message. So designers are actually meant to design a product that is human-centered, something that can drive experience, right? So I believe that as designers, we are meant to bring that, you know, culture more intentional about designing something that is eco-friendly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That was beautiful. Okay, thank you very much, Kingsley. That was beautiful. For the sake of our viewers, I would like to ask this question directly to Uche. So Uche, from your experience building platforms and working with creators, who really drives culture today? Platform algorithms or the communities and individuals using them? Yes, Uche.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. The truth is, both of them they matter. You understand? The communities and the algorithm, they are very important. Do you get? But the communities and the people, they drive the culture first. Algorithm only help amplify what people already connect with. You understand? People create the culture. It's not algorithm that creates the culture. You understand? Algorithm helps distribute what people have created. So the mistake people make is they confuse distribution power for creative power. So let me give you an example. So when you see something is trending, you feel like the person is more creative. It's just the fact that algorithm made you watch it. You understand? That's why you are seeing it. It doesn't mean that the person is more creative than the other person that you do not, or the other creator that you do not see. We've seen that most trends, they don't start on the platform. They start from human experiences. Experiences like, oh, you like, hey, help me. They carry me go where I don't know. It was somebody that was, dragging with a bus driver. It happened offline. Do you get? And it came online. You see things like election conversations. You understand? The parties and a whole lot. They happen all offline. You see humor, identity, struggle. Music. That's a very important part. Fashion, everyday life. The algorithm only decides how far and how fast this culture spreads. You understand? So African creators, we made Amapiano, we made Afrobeats, we are creating skits, you understand? Street slang globally, people genuinely relate to them. So platforms helps this distribution, but the culture itself, they are from us, we the communities. So the real power is still humans. Algorithms are just distribution tools, not culture creators. Algorithms amplify what already has cultural gravity. They don't manufacture it. You get? But because they control the thing at scale, they effectively pick the winners. So you'll be surprised that a lot of people are not really sane. It's not their fault. Algorithm has picked the winners, which makes them feel like they drive culture, even though they didn't originate it. You understand? So they are both important, but the culture is created here offline. You understand? Amongst us, the individuals. Thank you very much.
Um, all right, Mubarak. At the point we were. Hello, Mubarak.
I'm with you.
Hello,
Hi,
Mubarak.
Priscilla. Hi, Priscilla. I'm with you.
Okay.
Can you hear me clearly?
Okay, yeah, we were with Uche. We were with Uche the last time. I guess the network interrupted the flow. So, Uche, is Uche on board?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, it's still on the call.
I'm still on board.
Okay, yeah. I couldn't hear you. I
Okay.
don't know the network.
Sorry for that. So let me repeat what I said. So what I said was the algorithms
So
are
your
just
last point.
distribution tools. So I said that the algorithms, they're the ones that pick the winners. We can't really fault or we can't really control them. But the culture is being created by the communities and the individuals. I don't know if you heard me right. Hello, Prince Will, are you there?
Yes, I got you right.
Okay.
So thank you very much for that point. Joining us on YouTube. So our session topic today is algorithm versus intent. So who really controls culture in the attention economy? So today's conversation explores how brands, creators, platforms, and consumers are navigating this evolving
Hello.
Yes, we're with you. And April.
All right, hello. Apologies on the network hitch. So our speakers have examined or are doing so the opportunities, the risk, and the growing responsibilities of ensuring that technology enhance human experience rather than replacing authenticity and meaningful connection. So I'll move over to the second round of questions. I'll start with you, Mubarak. In the attention economy, do platforms shape culture through algorithm design, or are they simply responding to human behavior at scale? Where does the real control lie? Over to you, Mubarak.
Thank you, Percival, for that very, very interesting question. First, I believe it's both. Both the platform hold, but the only major thing is platform hold more power than we often admit. Human being naturally actually gravitate toward emotion, novelty, their status, conflict, belonging. And platform do not just they do not invent these instincts. They are actually ingrained in us. That's why I like the answer my previous person said, Uche, who mentioned that we're the originators and stuff. So we're the originators of whatever content that is driving there. But one thing that is where I'm very, very sure of is platform do not invent the ability to industrialize algorithm at scale. Recommendation system actually becomes the cultural infrastructure. They decide majorly what trend become global, which creators become influential, what conversation dominates the public attention, and even the emotional states are continuously reinforced. So as product managers, I understand this thing that every design decision is actually a behavioral decision, just like Kingsley actually mentioned. Ranking logic, notification timing, autoplay, infinite code, these are not just passive features, they're actually behavioral architectures. One thing I've learned building operational and financial products is that system quietly teach users how to behave. Users adapt to incentive faster than the companies and platforms do realize. For example, in a financial product, if you optimize the experience around speed and conversion, user may make faster decision, but not necessarily the best financial decision or better financial decision. So product leaders constantly have to ask this question: are we optimizing for short-term activity or long-term value creation? So same applying it to media platform. Culture today increasingly shaped by creators or by distribution mechanisms. Historically before, the kind of the platform where we interact with like TV, publishers, and record label were the gatekeeper of the kind of culture that trend and become dominant. But currently, all these platforms that are muchly driven by AI ranking system are actually training the engagement probability. So one thing I would say is, where do the real control lie? I'll say woman creates the culture, platform accelerate the culture, and algorithm determine the culture visibility. And in this age, visibility is actually power. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that wonderful insights, Mubarak. I really gained a lot from here. But all the same, because of our time, I would have loved to ask the question, but we'll leave that now. So to Ubong, do you think designers are consciously shaping your video or are optimizing more control? So don't know if you can hear me on that.
Yeah, I can hear you. So your question, do you think designers are consciously shaping user behavior, or are they optimizing for engagement in ways that unintentionally give algorithms more control? Well, I will actually say that if we are not careful, right, as designers and consumers, right, that's the users. If we are not careful, because most times the users tends to say, "Oh, this is what we want, this is what we need," and they want everything to be very fast and all of that. So as designers, because we have empathy, right? So we want to design something that at the end of the day, users will love. Now, the question now is, most designers are not actually manipulating um, designs, right? I don't know. Probably I'm hearing an echo. Maybe you should mute your mic and all right. So, like I said, we are not actually designing to manipulate. We are not doing that. We're actually designing to make the experience smooth. Are you getting me now? So a lot of product teams are simply optimizing for business metrics, right? Engagements such as engagement, retention, watch time, clicks, and conversion, right? So businesses are more focused on that. And but the challenge is that when engagement becomes the primary success of metrics, algorithms naturally gain more influence, right? That's why I said we just have to treat more carefully. Algorithm becomes more influence over user behavior, right? Now, because the system starts learning from what we click, from what we see. Now, let me tell you something. I actually had a conversation with my friend one time like that, and we're discussing about the tech conferences and all of that. And to my surprise, I came to my Instagram and I started seeing notifications, right? I started seeing content regarding tech conference, but even telling me to register and all of that. I'm like, wow. So it means that whatever we see, our conversations shapes our algorithm, right? So, for example, people that talk violent things, they actually can actually suggest violent content to you, as the case may be, right? So another example is as an entrepreneur, you sometimes you just feel, oh, maybe you've not really done so much. So what can I actually do to motivate myself? I thought about that. So I typed it and I sent it to my WhatsApp. And do you know what happened? I also got to my same Instagram. I started seeing motivational content, right? So algorithm listings. So now as humans, we need to be careful what we say and how we pass those content, what we click, right? So, and more platform begins optimizing around these signals consistently. So the algorithm gradually becomes behavioral architect, right? So the issue is not always bad intent, rather, right? Sometimes it is unexamined consequences. As designers and product teams, we have to ask ourselves, right? Are we helping users achieve meaningful goals? Now, for example, TikTok, I'm not criticizing TikTok, but TikTok has this design pattern that it just keeps scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. And in fact, I want to start something on TikTok. That's what Gen Z use now to start. They've actually kept Google one side. Google is still very useful. Don't quote me wrong. But I get to TikTok. I want to start this thing. Before I know it, I'm lost. I'm doing something else. I'm scrolling infinitely. So that's one thing about TikTok. Then we have other platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and all of that. So because these are two different design philosophies. So we are simply maximizing consumptions. For example, TikTok, it maximizes consumption. So these are actually two different philosophies. As designers, we must learn how to balance this. So, and I think industry is slowly realizing that high engagement does not always equal healthy experiences. So, my final note is designers should strike a balance, right? We should not just go with everything the user says. We should also think and also build products that aligns with human-centered design. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Uh, that was a wonderful insight. Okay, thank you. I'll move over to you, Uche. Uche, how do digital platforms influence which stories, voices, or creators get visibility? And what does that mean for cultural representation?
Okay, thank you, Prince Joe, for that question. The thing is, platforms optimize for engagement signals, not for cultural value. That's the truth, whether we like it or not. This creates a structural bias problem for us, especially in this part of the world. These platforms, they reward attention. That means they reward creators that understand timing, consistency, engagement, and audience behavior. These people, they get more visibility. So if you're not consistent, if you're not engaging, if you don't understand your audience behavior, you will not get more visibility. So the challenge is that algorithm often prioritize what performs fast. You understand? Not necessarily what is meaningful or what is diverse. They don't want to know, oh, if you are from a well diverse country or something like that. So as a result, some creators, languages, or local stories can be underrepresented because they don't fit the global engagement patterns. So we in this part of the world, we suffer a lot because we are very diverse. We have a rich cultural representation. So we believe that as Africans or as African creators, we do not need to abandon our identity to be seen. All we need to do is just to be consistent more. You understand? We need to show that, okay, we want to tell the world this is what we represent, this is who we are, this is our food, this is our place, this is what Nigeria looks like, this is how our dance looks like, this is how our music looks like. So cultural representation improves when creators own their narratives instead of copying what is already trending globally. So a lot of creators want to copy, like they are seeing what is happening outside, they want to copy. But I feel like the representation here, we just need to be consistent with what we are doing. Representation isn't just about who is on the platform. You understand? It's about who the algorithm rewards. And for the algorithm to reward you, you need to be consistent. For the algorithm to reward you, you need to understand timing. When are people more engaged on the platforms? So right now, algorithm flattens cultural diversity into whatever drives watch time. You understand? So whether we like it or not, most of these platforms are advertising machines. You understand? And at the back end, everybody's prioritizing what has what higher watch times. You understand? So they are working towards how can I put an advert in this post or how can I put an advert in this content? And this affects us whether we like it or not. So my advice for creators is as diverse, as culturally diverse as we are, we just need to understand what does the algorithm like. You understand? And it's simple. We have to be consistent. We have to understand audience behavior. You understand? We have to show that this thing is valuable. You don't just go and copy and paste something you see from other parts of the world. You have to be rich. You don't have to leave your own identity. You have to be unique and you have to be original and you have to be authentic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Uche, for that wonderful insight. I was lost. I was like, kind of for you to keep going, going. But thank you once again. Okay, now we move over to the third round of this interesting session. So because of our time, I'll appeal to you people not to take much time, maybe maximum of about 4 minutes, so we are good to go. And then we'll respond to questions from our audience. So moving over to the third round. So I'll start with you, Mubarak. How do recommendation systems and engagement metrics influence the type of content that is created, amplified, or suppressed across digital platforms? Over to you, Mubarak.
Thank you, Presso. I'll start by saying creators on whatever platform do adapt to incentive exactly the same way our markets adapt to incentive. Once creators understand what the algorithm reward, content become optimization driven. They optimize for the kind of content that is rewarded by the platform. So over time, platform unintentionally train creators to produce content that maximize discoverability rather than authenticity. And that's why we're seeing content that have shorter attention loop, more emotionally charged headline, performative outreach, and most times you see replication of trends. And all of this is actually to build a personality that is actually algorithm friendly. So recommendation system most times amplify whatever generates engagement velocity. The problem with engagement is not the same thing as value. A controversial post and an educational post may not compete for engagement, but educational posts produce more value, society value, than just controversial posts. And so while working as a product manager and building operational system, one thing I've noticed is the kind of KPI that is selected actually drive the kind of behavior that we see within teams. So teams optimize toward what the leadership who built the objective actually measure. If we are measuring speed, quality will suffer. If leaders are tracking volume, strategic thinking will decline. So algorithm also operate the same way. When platform prioritize for watch times, creators maximize stimulation. When it prioritize for shares, creators maximize for emotional intensity. When it's prioritized for retention, creators maximize building stuff that are addictive so that we get people coming back. Then when it's prioritizing conversion, the creators actually maximize for urgencies and persuasion. So AI simply is mathematically driving what is actually being optimized for. So my point here, an important point to notice, suppression does not always require to censorship. Sometimes algorithms simply reduce visibility. And in these modern systems that we have, invisibility can even be more powerful than being removed. And this practically culturally have a cultural significance because recommendation system increase economic opportunity, who get brand deals, who their audience grows, who becomes socially influential, and whose narrative become dominant within the space itself. So algorithm itself are not just technical system, they are now economic and cultural allocators, and they drive what gets amplified. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for the wonderful insights. I really enjoyed this. Okay, so I'll come over to you, Ubong. So looking at this, even from the previous points you made, how can product designers strike a balance between designing for attention and preserving user intent, creativity, and authentic expression?
Yeah, thank you very much. Like I said, most of my contributions are always something I actually experienced while designing products. Now, I want to give an instance of a product I recently designed. Now, the client came to me and said, "Oh, I want you to design a product whereby my intended users can actually navigate, right? They can actually navigate a retailer store for magazines. And I just want you to put the list there. Just put it." I was like, how? So I need to shape his mindset and I need to redirect him, right? Now, I created a platform whereby when you get to the digital products, you first of all see the landing page, then it takes you to where you get your direction. Of course, you can actually get directions on Google. Now, the essence of this is to have all of these um, addresses, all of these locations in one place. So this is what we call user intent. So once I come to the product, I already know that, okay, this is what I intend to see, right? I want to have a glimpse of locations and I want to take me to this particular location if I'm driving. So this is where designer needs to be very intentional, right? Intentionality is very, very, very important when you're designing products. So attention itself is not the problem. So every product competes for attention, right? The real question is actually is what happens after attention is captured? Like I said, when the attention is captured, what happens next? So does the experience empower the user or continuous does it continuously redirect behavior without awareness? Now, don't forget, I actually make use of TikTok. Sometimes you just go there and redirect your awareness to something else, right? Those are intentional designs. Those are designs that were built for consumption. Now, does this experience empowered, right? Like I said, so good design keeps users engaged. Hmm? Or does it actually keep users engaged, but great designs respect users. You understand? Came He respect why user came to the product at the first place. I need to be able to say, okay, this is what I want to do, and I should be able to have an exit. That's the success, right? I'm not disputing other products, but I'm just saying from a product design perspective. So that means that designing systems that support clarity and meaningful interaction, not just endless consumption. For example, giving users more control over recommendations, designing LDR stopping points, like I mentioned, then reducing manipulative friction patterns, then creating transparency around how content is surfaced. So as designers, we need to move beyond designing for addiction loops and start designing for long-term value and trust. I should be able to trust your product. Then because of this, sustainable products are not built only on attention. So they are actually built on meaningful experience. Meaningful experience. I start your product, I should be able to see an exit. That's a win for me because this is the essence why I'm coming on this product, right? So we need to build that experience to accommodate while we are focusing on business as well. We also need to also focus on the users. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that wonderful points. Because of our time, I'll move over to the next person. Um, so sorry, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yes, I said thank you very much, Ubong, for the wonderful insights on that. So because of our time, I'll move over to the next person, Uche. So in an algorithm-driven ecosystem, how can creators and brand maintain authenticity while still playing within the rules of visibility and engagement?
Thank you very much. So creators and brands, they need to understand the difference between adapting content and losing identity. You understand? So you don't have to become the algorithm. You just have to use the algorithm. So what this practically means is speak in your real voice. If you have to speak Igbo, if you have to speak Yoruba, you have to be original. You have to be authentic. Build around your actual community. Follow trends that align with your message only. Focus on consistency. instead of virality. A lot of people want to go viral. The most important thing about content is you are telling a story. So you just need to be valuable. Instead of going viral, be valuable. You understand? Then turn your audience into community. Like when you come online, you have a lot of people. You need to pick out of those people that believe in you and turn them into your community. The creators who last, they are not the ones that are loudest. You understand? They're the ones that people trust. Let me give you an instance. One of my favorite content creators is Disney. I just opened my phone just now and I saw he just posted the recent content. That guy is so relatable. That guy is, I don't know how many people watch him online here. That guy is very relatable. Their brands wants to work with him because once you watch his content, in fact, any brand is pushing, they always go viral. If you see the one he did for InDrive, the one he did for Sprite, you understand? So for brands, audience can really detect if this partnership is forced. If you give a brand, oh, advertise this thing, they'll know that, oh, this is forced. So right now, you need to be authentic. Authenticity is better than perfection. People connect with relatability, transparency, and easy storytelling. So for me, I want brands to be able to understand that pushing your business using content creator is good, but it has to be relatable. It doesn't have to be forced. You understand? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Don't know if you can hear me. Apologies for the network hitch. Yeah, thank you, Che. So moving over to the fourth round, I would like to appeal to you, each of the speakers, to maintain maximum of 2.5 minutes or latest 2 minutes for your points. So Mubarak, based on what you've said so far and your position, so I would like you to throw an insight on this. As AI systems become more sophisticated, how can platforms balance optimization for engagement with the need to preserve authentic human expressions and cultural diversity? Over to you, Mubarak.
Thank you very much. I think for me, this is probably one of the defining product challenge that we're having for our own generation, because AI system become too optimized purely for engagement. And one thing that brings it is we risk creating highly efficient system that gradually flatten the human creativity, nonsense the diversity itself. Over time, if with the rate at which algorithm is optimizing for engagement, we might get to a point where majority of the average content we see online sounds and feel the same, because over time the algorithm have actually optimized and kill out those creativity that we have. So as product manager, we need to evolve beyond the mindset of can we optimize it, to start asking what's the question of what's the long-term human consequence of all this optimization we're doing. Another thing is we should believe that future should actually be, I believe something that future belong to the platform that optimize for sustainable engagement and not addictive engagement. And this majorly require 4 major shifts. First, we must expand our success metric beyond engagement. Platforms should also measure content quality, trust, long-term user being, and meaningful interaction. Reality is we've not fully measured this stuff because we've not actually given it a thought. Aside that is, we have to design our system for discovery and not just for prediction. So most times we see systems that are actually predicting, oh, because you do this or you commented on this, they are predicting that you'll be interested in this. But our system should become designed for discovery. The third thing is we should actually design human-centered AI governance, because everything actually starts from the governance level and the strategy itself. So the best system would combine machine intelligence for scale, human judgment for ethics and cultural context, and actually have a very transparent product governance. And the last thing is we should have a responsible product leadership where product managers become extremely important. AI ethics is no longer about an engineering issue. It's actually now a product decision itself. So product leaders should actually define the right incentive, should design the optimization goal and the behavioral outcome that you want the system to achieve. And ultimately, this social impact we want our platform to actually build. So from my experience, the companies that will win long term will not be the one that build the most addictive algorithm system. They are the ones that will build for intelligence, responsibility, human relevance, and cultural trust. In the next era of product leadership, which is the AI era, we have to take note of all these four things. Thank you.
Apologies, I have to cut you short. Remember, 2 minutes. So for the other speakers, just because of our thank you. Mubarak, I earlier stated that you could have rounded it off with a few seconds, but if you're through, maybe we'll go over to the next question directed to Ubong. In building digital products today, what responsibilities do designers have in ensuring that platforms reflect diverse cultures rather than reinforcing algorithm-driven patterns? Now, this question was thrown at you based on what you do and based on who you are. So we believe that you have an answer to the responsibility designers have in ensuring that platforms reflect diverse cultures rather than reinforcing algorithm-driven pattern. So, Ubong.
All right, Prince Will, thank you for this question. Like, I've been longing to respond to this question. So this is very, very important. So this is one of the most important conversations in
Okay,
technology right
sorry.
now, right?
Sorry, I don't mean to
Can you
cut
hear
you
me?
short. You can do this with 2 minutes.
All right, no problem. So this is one of the most important conversations in technology right now because algorithms learn from data. You know, I keep mentioning data. Algorithms learn from data, and data often reflects existing human biases. You can't take that away. Dominant narratives, behavioral patterns, right? So if designers are not intentional, if they are not intentional, platform can unintentionally amplify sameness instead of diversity. Now we see emerging of AI, where we use most of this AI to iterate on products. And some designers go as far as you need to design a whole design systems, the whole product, right? So there's something that can be very similar with this using this product, right? You can have similarity in designs, and this is what actually kicks away culture or diversity. So designers need to be very intentional when designing, right? You need to be very intentional. So if designers are not intentional, like I said, and culture becomes flattened into whatever platform best, algorithms needs it to be, right? So algorithms takes place, and we end up designing for vacuums. So that's why designers have a huge responsibility today, right? We are no longer just interface creators. We are shaping digital environments where people learn, interact, express themselves, and from opinions, right? So that means we must think critically about representation, inclusion bias, context, accessibility, which is very important, and cultural balance or cultural nuisance. So especially in the global platforms, serving different communities, Africa, Europe, North America, and beyond. So technology should not just erase human diversity at all. It shouldn't. So it should support it rather. So, and I believe future belongs to products that combine intelligence systems rather with human-centered thinking. So designers should be able to combine these together to build a wonderful product. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your wonderful insights, Ubong. So I'll go over to you. I'll come over to you, Uche. So Uche, what role can emerging platforms and startups play in reshaping the balance of power between algorithm control and human intent in the attention economy?
Okay, let me just go through the point. I told you before that large
So
platforms,
please,
they
2 minutes,
are
just 2 minutes, please.
Okay, sure. I told you large platforms, they optimize for watch time and ad revenue. So emerging platforms have opportunity to build more human-centered systems that are purely for attention-driven systems. So the future of attention economy should not be about going viral. Everybody wants to die because they want to go viral. We should be able to create opportunities, jobs, careers, economic values for creators, which is very important for us African creators. And that's what we are doing at Eki Technologies. So I feel like startups should shift that power back to the creators and the communities by building systems where human value is more important than algorithm manipulation. So there are things that they can prioritize communities, they can create transparency in algorithms, they can build revenue systems that are not purely attention-based, and they can design for niche instead of mass production. Thank you very much. Sorry, was that too fast? Did you get what I said?
Okay, thank you very much for the wonderful insights. I really enjoyed those points. Thank you for being brief as well. So over to our audience, is there anyone with question or who would like to ask a question to our distinguished speakers? The floor is open. Okay, in the sense of that, I would like to thank our speakers, Mubarak, who is a product manager working at the intersection of AI, commerce, infrastructure, and human behavior in emerging markets, with over 5 years of experience building and scaling digital platforms across fintech, retail, logistics. And he has led systems responsible for over 100 billion in monthly GMV and driving significant growth across digital commerce ecosystem. So Ubong, and we have also Ubong Kingsley Ime, who is a Lagos-based product designer, product strategist, and co-founder of UTechSol, where he leads the design of user-centered digital products across fintech and emerging technology sectors. And we are pleased to have heard from Uche Eze, who is a solution-oriented product architect and a goal-driven entrepreneur and digital technology enthusiast, passionate about fostering job creations in Africa through creativity and innovation. This I forgot. He is also an alumnus of Hanley Business School, UK. So he's committed to leveraging technology and entrepreneurial ventures to address critical challenges. So on this note, we would like to thank all our speakers for their valuable contributions and thought-provoking insights. And to everyone who joined us for this week, our first week, week 1, today's pre-conversation has highlighted the growing influence of algorithm, AI, and digital platforms in shaping culture, attention, and human experiences in today's digital economy. Of real, I enjoyed your insights. And as we continue under this year's theme, the culture, algorithm, AI, and human experience, today's session has challenged us to think more deeply about the balance between technology, human intent, creativity, and authenticity in an increasing algorithm-driven world. So we warmly invite you to continue this journey with us throughout MarkHack 5.0, where we will explore more transformative conversations at the intersection of technology, innovation, creativity, media, business, and culture. So MarkHack 5.0 brings together industry leaders, innovators, startups, creators, and ecosystem players shaping the future of Africa's digital ecosystem. So we are on our 5th edition, and we'll encourage you to join us next week for another exciting, insightful session. To our audience, we encourage you to join us next week. So as we continue unpacking critical conversations around technology and human experience. So once again, thank you for being part of today's session, and we look forward to seeing you at the MarkHack 5.0 on June 5th, 2026. So thank you, and see you at the next pre-conversation, same time next week. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.